Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulih al-Kareem. Continue where we left off in Surah Ra'd. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first told us of the calmness, the tranquility is only attained by the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only do you get tranquil in this life, that the stresses, the hardships of this world doesn't affect you, but there's a benefit for it in the akhirah as well too. For example, Ibrahim alayhi salam, one of the most stressful times that you would think for someone is they tied him up, put him on a catapult to shoot him into some flames because they couldn't even get near the fire. They made it so huge that they had to catapult him in. But he said the best days of my life was in that fire, which he spent 40 days in, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Be cold and peaceful for Ibrahim alayhi salam. The Bilal radiallahu anhu, who was a slave, being tortured when he first accepted Islam. And he was being tortured to just say once, just one time, utter the name of their gods. But he would just say, Al-Ahad, Al-Ahad, Ahad. And he would only say the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said those were the best times of my life. So even though it's so stressful that it's pretty much fatal for them, because the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was there, their hearts were at rest. So us, we're not that stressed. Yes, work can be stressful, family can be stressful, our situations around us, the worry of what's going to happen, us getting sick, losing our job, all these things are stressful. But the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you find peace no matter how stressful situations are around you. And you can look at the opposite side. All of us try to live in this world a certain comfort level where we don't have to worry about bills, we don't have to worry about food, we don't have to worry about health or anything like that. There's people that have that. They're above millionaires. They're in the top 10 Forbes list, and they're fighting to go above each other by just another billion. But even though they're surrounded with luxuries, their hearts don't have rest. Why? The remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not there. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ طُوبَى لَهُمْ وَحُسْنَ مَآبٍ. Those, now they get the benefit also again continuing in the afterlife, those who believe and do righteous deeds, طُوبَى لَهُمْ. And tuba, some scholars say it's masdar, its root word is tayyib. And we say like kalima tayyiba, the best word, the best phrase. Similarly, they have the best situation or area in Jannah, which is Jannah. Other scholars say tuba is the name of a tree in the middle of Jannah that it takes a rider 100 years to cross it. And that's why every time we say subhanallah, there's another hadith, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu. But anytime you make these adhkar, aside from all the other benefits you get from it, every time you do it, you get one tree in Jannah. It takes the rider 100 years to cross its shades. Another hadith, 40 years to cross its shades. So you're planting and you're preparing your akhirah, you're living this world no matter how stressful you are with tranquility, and then you're planting your afterlife, you're building your afterlife, that you have the most peaceful area when you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's not only the tuba lahum wa husna ma'ab, they have the best return. When they go back, we're all returning back to Allah. We came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now we're going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everyone that has tuba, they're going to have the best return. They won't have any kind of complaints. Now everything that we mentioned so far, the qualities of the disbelievers, the qualities of the believers, the benefits of following the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how slowly it removes all the bad habits and bad qualities and instills good qualities and good habits within your life. The ends, which is paradise and Jannah, everything that we mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَذَلِكَ مَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ فِي أُمَّةٍ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهَا أُمَمٌ لِتَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. Just like we sent in previous nations for the prophets to warn them of these things and give them glad tidings of these things, we've sent you to a nation so that you can read them these ayats. And we have to be grateful enough that we read these ayats, ponder over these ayats, let these ayats affect us and change us for the better and the best version of ourselves. But what do? They say, Umar Rahman. They not only not obey, they say, who's Ar-Rahman? What is Ar-Rahman? And they just completely reject everything that's said to them. So as believers, anytime a disbeliever, anytime a nation is rebuked for not doing what we're supposed to, what we're doing, we should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose us. Now if you look at the previous nations, like Nuh alayhi salam's nation, they had 950 years to understand that Nuh alayhi salam was speaking the truth and he was a truthful person. They didn't. Almost 1,000 years and they couldn't once come to the conclusion that, you know what, maybe he's telling the truth. He's never lied to us, maybe he's telling the truth. And over here, Quraysh, 50 to 60 years, they're doing the same thing. Now, would it be fair? How come they got 950, we don't get 50? Well, for one, the last nation has all the examples of the previous nations. Let them know, look what happened to them. Take lesson. Nuh alayhi salam, they didn't have anybody. But even if the roles are flipped, the same type of person will believe and the same type of person will disbelieve. So all we can do is just say, Alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us and give us at least the little understanding that we have of who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we pick up the Quran and we recite it. And this is just a reminder for all of us that we should constantly be reciting, but especially right now in the month of Sha'ban, Ramadan is coming up. If you want to make khatam in Ramadan, which has a lot of rewards to it, a lot of benefits to it, start trying to make a khatam right now. Set a schedule for yourself that you read the Quran a certain amount every day, that if you do that for the next 30 days, you'll be able to make khatam. Find out what that schedule is right now. Even if you don't make khatam in the month of Sha'ban, the schedule will be ready to adopt in Ramadan, and you'll easily do your khatam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for all of our shortcomings. Jazakumullah khairan.